Today's episode 82 with Dr. Lucas of Freedom Family Chiropractic Care. And you're going to want to listen to this episode because he talks all things chiropractic care, but he also talks mindset. He talks about detoxing, what his favorite supplements are, and just really great rules to live by. And he's just an awesome dude. I can't wait for you to listen. Well, Dr. Lucas, thank you for coming back for round two with us.
Happy to be here.
It must not have been that bad if you wanted to come back and do it again.
It was great.
We were just saying before we started that, and one of the reasons we wanted to have you on again was because the last time I felt like we could have kept going. Mm-hmm. There was so much more to be said. So I'm super excited to have this episode, and I'm excited for everybody to hear, hopefully learn something and kind of have their mind opened to all the benefits of chiropractic care. But honestly, I would say one of the things that I love about your practice is you, and I think I said this before too, but you genuinely care, but you're really about the whole person. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that you and I have talked about is just stress. And I kind of wanted to start there because it's something that I think a lot of people deal with, and there's so many harmful effects of stress. And there are things that you can do to help mitigate that.
Yes.
So can we talk about that? Do you mind starting
100%.
there?
Yeah. And just to go, but I think part of what separates, I guess, our approach to chiropractic from maybe everyone else is not that other people don't care. It's just like, I love chiropractic, but I love people getting healthy more. So it's like, I have seen chiropractic as one of the best tools to bring health about, but then it's like, that doesn't stand alone.
Yeah.
You also have the workouts and the nutrition and the mindset and the detoxing, that when you put all those common sense things together over a certain period of time, like the default response is healing.
Love that.
So we see those results, and I really think it's because it's not just like a one specialty, oh, all we do here is look at your eyes, or all we do here is look at your heart, and all we do here is adjust your bones and spine. It's like, no, you're a whole person.
Yeah.
If your brain isn't functioning properly, you might have knee pain. It all connects. So,
and that's one of the things that you do really well is when you are with your patients, you really take the time to ask them questions. What's going on? Mm-hmm. How are you feeling? And not just, hey, let's just get you adjusted and move you on your way, but let's talk about some other alternatives that can really help, right? That can coincide. I think it says, I was told this by Emily at your office, that chiropractic care is based on 5 essentials: chiropractic, exercise, nutrition, and mindset. She only gave me 4. What's the other one?
What did you say? Chiropractic, nutrition, exercise, mindset, and detoxing.
Oh, detoxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 5th.
Okay. So that, and I think that totally shows up because you guys, again, just are all about me. I want to get into all of it, but
let's start. I think you said it right. Stress is the big killer. There's a big push in the 90s, de-stress your workplace. When first heart attacks started happening back in the 50s, people thought oh, it's an anger issue, it's a stress issue, but really it lines into stress. And the problem is that very few people can take away the stress in their life. You can't you can't just quit your job and go live on a beach and have a margarita. You have to deal with the stress and manage it well and really adapt to it. Mm-hmm. So stress, what happens is you have a stress response, which is a good thing. If someone, crashed their car into the front door, stress response physiologically in us is going to raise blood pressure. It's going to dilate our pupils so we can see everything that's going on. It's going to shut down digestion, the bladder, the colon, everything just goes to the muscles and to the brain to be alert. And then ideally, once that stressor is gone, the stress response should go away. The problem is that ours does not go away. Mm-hmm. We don't have the immediate threat, but we do have pings on our watch with every Slack message or every work phone. And then we come home and it's stressful movies, and we have stressful drives, and it's just this chronic state of stress. So blood pressure is up, digestion is shut down, cortisol is just pumping through your veins, and your body is just in this go mode. And the analogy is it's kind of like a NASCAR driving around the track, just pedal to the floor without any pit stops. They will go fast, you'll get a lot of stuff done, you'll do the laps, but eventually something is gonna break down. And that's where damage occurs, and then that turns into, inflammation.
Yeah.
Your body now has to create inflammation to fix it, and the chronic inflammation, that is then the root cause of nearly all disease, of just unfixed chronic inflammation that just goes on for years, that then turns into heart disease or diabetes or Alzheimer's and all this stuff. But it started in that I didn't manage my stress right.
It's crazy because it kind of reminds me of like a panic attack. I was told that a panic attack is your body's physical way of releasing that stress that it's been holding on to. At some point it has to get it out, and the way that it manifests is it can manifest in the form of a panic attack. It's your body like physically responding to that stress, right? And I think about that, like I know when I was 38, I got shingles, and the doctor told me that was from stress. It's crazy that something that is not tangible, but yet can have a physical consequence to our body. And there are a lot of consequences. When I was talking to you recently, you had said, well, are you more stressed? Because your body will hold on to weight, right? You're not sleeping well.
Yeah, like it's crazy. So you think of what happens with the stress response, like in your liver is going to create glucose, sugar. So even if you're having a great diet, staying away from like the junk food, but you go and get your blood work done and the A1C and the blood sugar are high, it's probably because you're stressed, because your liver and your body is creating sugar so that you can keep going.
Yeah.
So we don't want that.
We don't want that.
No.
So what would you say are some good things people should do to help counteract that?
Yeah, so that kind of falls into the 5 essentials, because there's the things that are outside of chiropractic that a lot of people know that I'll touch on, but then there's the piece that's often missing. So like you're asking like, what are the best ways to manage stress? Like boom, gratitude journal, prayer, like mindfulness, just chilling out for a second, taking a Sabbath, like an actual day of rest is huge. But also exercise. Like exercise studies have been shown to be 1.5 times greater at treating like panic attacks and anxiety and depression than the leading antidepressant. If you could put a pill and name it exercise and have the same effect, you'd be a trillionaire. But you can't, because it's real, it's exercise. And then staying away from toxic foods, because those will cause damage, which will increase the stress response. So a lot of those things like sleeping, it's stuff that we almost all know. The one thing that I see get missed is looking at the nervous system. Because if you go back to like, okay, I can't change the stress, typically, you can't get rid of all of it. How do I manage it better? How do I become more adaptable? Well, your adaptation like levels start in your nervous system. Your nervous system, the level at which it's functioning is going to decide at what level you're going to turn into, oh, this is too much, I now can't adapt, I'm now having a panic attack, or I'm having some sort of leaky gut, or brain dysfunction, or it's like, no, I can manage this because my nervous system is working properly. So when I see kids who have been stressed from birth, whether it's through traumatic birth or C-section or antibiotics, and they're coming in on the spectrum, ADHD or chronic ear infections or, PTSD, any of that stuff, and we start adjusting their spine to take pressure off the nerves, their body is now better able to handle the stress, and the symptoms of whether it's neurological or physical start to heal.
That's amazing.
Because you took that stressor from the bone on the nerve away. And that happens in adults too, it just takes longer.
Yeah, that's amazing. That reminds me, one of the things that people say is like, well, why do I have to like go to a chiropractor forever? Like, shouldn't it just be like a one and done thing?
I wish it would, yes.
So can you talk about that?
I'm getting better. One of these days I'll have the adjustment where you can do one. It's interesting. So back in the day, because this question is asked by chiropractors all the time. We hear these stories of these amazing healings back in the, chiropractic is not that old, 1895. And the case studies that you can still read are like, oh my gosh, this patient, adjusted for weeks and cancer gone, or this patient adjusted and their hearing came back, and all these things that were so common. It's like, wait, why aren't we seeing those as much today? And why does it seem like we have to keep adjusting people when they come in, they're out of alignment again and again and again? It's because the stress and the toxic load in a modern lifestyle is higher.
Interesting.
So that builds the case, like, yes, get adjusted, but also live as best of a life as you can of managing your stress, exercising, like doing all those 5 essentials so that you can hold your adjustments longer.
Yeah.
It's just our world. I mean, we're sitting here talking. We probably sit at dinner. We sit to drive home. We sit to watch a movie. Like that's a lot of sitting on the back and on the spine. We are moving like 90% less than we did only 100 years ago.
Crazy, right?
So,
and I feel like even more recently, that's increased significantly with our phones and social media. And I think we're just like 10 times less active.
Yeah. The case for getting adjusted is the same case, getting adjusted consistently over time is the same case for supplementation. It's like in an ideal world, you would never need supplementation because the food you eat is perfect. It has all its nutrients and all its minerals as God designed it to. But unfortunately, we know through just years and years of just farming the same thing over and over, the soil is not the same. So now 1 cup of spinach in the 60s is equal to 6 cups of spinach today. The same thing with chiropractic. It's just our lifestyle is so intense that people do well getting adjusted consistently, whether it's monthly or weekly. It just depends on the intensity of their lifestyle.
Yeah. So you brought up supplements. Let's talk about supplements. What are your favorites?
Oh, man. Yeah, I love supplements. I sell them. The only thing is it's a supplement. It's to add on, not to replace. So as long as we get that, because people will say like, oh, I'm taking my green supplement. That means I don't need to have my salad. Like, nope, that is, you do start over. It's in addition to. So I would say 3 main supplements are the most important. And in spirit of being here in Arizona, it was what, 117 yesterday?
Oh gosh.
So we have the heat. The number 1 supplements for Arizonans is going to be salt, electrolytes. I have seen, especially young women, having fatigue, headaches, brain fog, just not being able to feel like themselves, and they're, doing all this blood work, all this stuff. It's like, oh, have you had like electrolyte water, or have you had some salt today with some lemon water? And they take that, and it just hydrates their body even more, and it's like, oh, they're a new person.
Interesting.
So especially when it's hot and we sweat, like if you ever tasted your sweat or your tears, like your body is like the ocean. It's salty. So when we drink water that doesn't have any salt in it, and we're told that salt is bad, and we have reverse osmosis systems that strip everything, toxic but also good, out of there, we are now often deficient in a lot of trace minerals and a lot of the sodium. So, the stuff that's in electrolytes is really like your sodium is going to give you energy, magnesium helping with like muscle cramps and digestion, your chloride, like all these great things that you only need a little bit of, but you need it, or else you have a problem.
And that's so interesting. You can literally put salt in your water, right? I remember a naturopath I was working with, she was suggesting squeeze lemon and salt and drink that every day. It's really good for you. But there's also products that you can buy, right, that have a little flavor to them. That can be helpful too.
Elementi or Element, Redmond Relight, Ultima, like there's a lot of good ones. You just want to make sure you find, I like the Redmond brand the best, but as long as, because we have, a lot of people need more salt, but then you look at Gatorade, like, oh, that's a electrolyte, but it also has sugar. We do not have a sugar deficiency. So getting the ones that don't have sugar and are usually sweetened with something like stevia instead of aspartame or sucralose is going to be the best.
What are your other favorite supplements?
Other favorites, the next one is not one that I sell, and it's not even, you can get it as a supplement, but it's more so a food, and that's going to be liver. Liver is nature's multivitamin. It has the highest levels of vitamin A, vitamin B. It is like, you look at the animal kingdom and like see, okay, what tips can you gain from that? When a wolf pack kills a bison, the lead wolf in the pack gets first dibs. It always goes for the liver. It is the most nutrient-dense food on planet Earth. When orcas kill sharks, the leading orca goes straight for the liver because that's the most nutrient-dense. Native Americans, lead warrior, would get first dibs. They'd either go for the gallbladder, the stomach, or the liver.
Interesting.
And that was like the king's food. And now we don't see that happening at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But it has the vitamins that you need.
So what's the best way to get that?
Yeah.
Are you?
So,
I'm not going to go kill somebody for their
no,
liver.
no. So most accessible is going to be getting it in a supplement form.
Okay.
And the reason why it's accessible is because liver has a very intense flavor.
Okay.
It'll make cats leave the room.
Oh gosh.
So,
okay.
so you can do it in supplement form, and there's a lot of great ones. Anytime you take a supplement, you're concentrating the good, but also with the bad. So anytime you're having any sort of animal-based protein that eats grass, you want to make sure it's grass-fed, grass-finished, organic liver. Because if it's not, liver is also a detoxifier, which means it pulls out toxins. So toxins are in there. So if you've now isolated all that, you just want highest quality that you can.
Okay.
The second way is to go get actual liver, either when you're buying a cow or that's what we do. We have a patient with a ranch, and we get a cow from every year, and
Love it.
we get the liver, and I chop it up. Some people do, an ounce a day, and that's great, but you can do it in little ice cube trays and just down the hatch.
Okay.
Other people get really intense and start cooking it with liver, onions and stuff. I haven't developed the palate for that yet, but I would love to.
Get it over with.
Yeah, but liver, better than any multivitamin you're going to get. That's nature's multivitamin. And then you asked for the one more. The last one is kind of going in line with the first question. So you said, okay, stress over time creates damage. In an attempt to fix that damage, your body's going to create inflammation. We are, as Americans, predominantly stuck in a state of chronic inflammation that is very hard to suppress. So the third and most important supplement would be like a natural anti-inflammatory.
Oh.
So this is your strongest natural anti-inflammatory is going to be turmeric.
Okay.
So your curcumin, your turmeric, that is going to decrease inflammation the fastest in your body. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Taking something like that, you just want to make sure that it has different things to make it available, like black pepper or quercetin, to make it bioavailable. Because if you just straight take turmeric, you're gonna, get rid of 97% of it. So you want to make sure that it has things in there like bioperin that'll help your body absorb it.
Yeah. And then I know it's really important where you get your supplements from.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so many options. I mean, you can go to Target, Costco, whatever. Yeah. But are those really the best?
They can be. They're getting better.
Okay.
And it's unfortunately still, like, I have my list of supplements that I do. I sell them, and Dr. Axe, there's all sorts of great places you can go to get them, both in the store and online. But you just want to avoid bottom shelf at the grocery store, that's the deal that's on sale, or the things in the back of Sprouts. It's like, okay, manager special. You're wasting your money.
Yeah.
I took an x-ray of a patient's lower back where I could see their abdomen. And on x-ray, usually you can only see bone, and the rest is black because it goes through tissue, fine. I could see going through their large intestine supplements. And I said, hey, are you taking supplements? They said, yes. I said, where are you getting these? Oh, just CVS. Their body, it passed through their stomach, small intestine, into the large intestine, still intact. You were literally just throwing money down the drain.
Yeah.
So that just highlights the need of, you want something that is high quality, that breaks down fast, or else it's not doing anything for you.
What about parasite cleanses? Because that's, we hear a lot about that, getting rid of toxic metals and things like that. Because again, going back to our environment, right?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
It gets pretty detailed with the parasite cleanses and toxins, especially depending on what parasite and what toxic exposure, whether it's aluminum or mercury, or a lot of different ways you can go that way. I find that for most people, you are always detoxing. You are always getting rid of parasites. So when people, I sell the cleanses, I sell the metal detox, some parasite cleanses, but unless someone is living the lifestyle where they're not having junk food, they're staying away from sugar, they're sitting in the sauna, they're sweating, that's one of the best ways to detox. If they're not doing that, and then they go do a parasite cleanse or a detox, it's just, you're running uphill on a treadmill. It doesn't work. So my go-to is for 95% of people, start with 30 to 60 days of just clean eating, exercise, really the 5 essentials. And if that point, you get to the end of that and you're like, hey, I am still having issues, Then you diversify into like, okay, what specific parasite, what specific metal, is there a supplement that you're specifically deficient in, like iron?
Yeah.
But I think we jumped the gun on that too early because we're trying to treat the symptom instead of like, hey, let's just give your body the tools it needs, and your body's a doctor. It's going to take that and like a master builder, create health.
Which is amazing, right? Like to realize that our bodies were created wonderfully, and with everything we weren't lacking, right? It's just, how do we take care of that? Are we good stewards of that?
100% stewardship. That is like my word of the year. It's just because it takes it off of you. I think in the health and fitness world especially, there's a lot of like, oh, it's about me, how I look, how I feel. Like, I don't want that. I want, hey, no, I am healthy. Why? So I can go do and serve and give and be a dad and be a better chiropractor for my patients. Like, that's why health matters. Stewardship for what God prepared for you in advance to do.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
you attach to that. That's where people who say they don't have motivation, go to a bigger, deeper why. Take it off of yourself. It gets a whole lot easier.
I agree. I mean, I've shared this before, that for me, whenever I'm having a bad day or feeling stressed out or overwhelmed, I realize that's very like me focused.
Yeah.
When I can flip the script and think about, who can I serve today? How can I be a blessing to someone else, right? Yeah. How is what God has put in my pathway going to help me to be a bright spot for somebody else? It totally changes, and it's almost like that melts away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I would say you are in the office, right? It's like you really take your time with each patient and they feel seen and heard and special. And to be able to say like, oh yeah, I have this ache or pain, or oh, this happened, and for you to be able to speak to it, encourage them, whatever it may be, is like really, really awesome.
I strive to be better at that every day.
Yeah, yes. I think you do great. One of the things you said in our last podcast was health, and I hope I get this right, health is not a destination, it's a direction. That's what you said. Yeah. What do you mean by that?
There is no you are healthy graduation ceremony. Like there is, you want to be in a state of health, but it's not like, man, I had my, like, I'm done eating salads because I've eaten all the salads. Or like, because I say that because people will come in and be like, oh my gosh, like I never had this problem before. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's every day is new. Like if you weren't working on your health all this time, then something is building, and now you've landed in a symptom, but the dis-ease or the dysfunction has been there for a long time. So unless you're always putting in and working on your health, like you're never staying the same. You're either getting healthier, it's either going up or down. Like that's like period. That's it. So there's no end point.
No, like I've arrived.
Yeah.
What about, is it ever too late?
No. It's never too late. I mean, there are limitations of matter. Like, okay, someone who's, 90 years old and who, has had surgeries and all these things, like there's going to be a limit to how much healing we can expect, just because the life runway now is shortened, but you can always heal. I've seen some of the greatest. I remember there was an 80-year-old gal who walked in, barely walked in, and she was just like stooping over, hurting in her back, and I was honestly scared because I was like, I don't know if I can help this woman. Like she's 80, she's hurting this bad to where she might need an ambulance if it gets any worse, like someone help her pick her up. Like, I don't know. But I was like, you know what? We're going to do our best. We're going to do just like we did with the patient, x-rays, and make sure we can help. And she walked out of there and she doesn't have back pain anymore. It's like, whoa, yeah. So you can there is always hope. Yeah. And different levels of people can heal to different levels. Or let me say that differently. Everybody is born with a different potential of healing, but we often underestimate and assume that, it's just how it's going to be. I'm going to take this medication for the rest of my life. I'm always going to have back pain, so I won't be able to play basketball like I was again. It's like, no, you'd be surprised. Yeah. Yeah.
You touched on this a little bit ago, and I kind of want to segue into what is chiropractic care good for that maybe people wouldn't think about. One of the things that come to mind is just mental health. Thank you for watching the episode. Our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
Yeah, this honestly goes back to the inflammation piece. We used to teach a class we have to teach it again soon, but it was all about mental health and chiropractic. So when you look at like, okay, why is someone depressed? Why are they anxious? Why is there PTSD or ADHD? Like all the things that go into mental health. There is a lot of factors that, family and stress and all this stuff, and it takes a village to help someone heal from that. But one of the things that gets missed is the physical, the inflammation, the blood flow to and from the brain. So you take someone so you got blood flow that goes from your heart up through your neck into your brain, and then it has to drain and come down. It's not just blood, there's also cerebrospinal fluid. And if that's flowing freely, you have a brain that's functioning well, and a brain that's functioning well is thinking clearly, no brain fog, less depression, like adapting well. But if you have a bone shifted out of alignment, or you lose the curve in your neck, which pulls those blood vessels tight and restricts them, now you have less blood flow, less cerebrospinal fluid, brain dysfunction, which will show up as depression, anxiety, PTSD. So we see a lot of people, when you get their head back on their shoulders right, and then you pour in the good food and the water and the 5 essentials, it's like, oh my gosh, my depression, I can't remember what it's called, but they have a little sheet that they clinically score depression on. Like we see people come back with better scores on those all the time. Or panic attacks. I've had so many women between the ages of like 20, like college, and like 40 coming in with panic attacks. No more panic attacks, no more emergency room at 1 p.m. because they can't breathe and their heart's just pounding out of their chest, because they are more able to adapt to that stress. And I'll say again, it's not everything, because there are other factors.
For sure.
Faith is a big one, and just what's your environment, who you're around.
Yep.
But the most overlooked piece is going to be the adjustment.
So I think that's like a surprising one that people wouldn't necessarily think could be helpful. What are some other things that chiropractic care can help with that people wouldn't necessarily? I think people think, I need to go to the chiropractor because my back hurts.
3 things: back pain, neck pain, and maybe headaches.
Right?
Those are like the 3 most common. And really it's like, wait, there's a lot more here. I think one of the things that I love the most seeing kind of light bulbs go off that's so relevant is the immune system. And people don't know this, but chiropractic was like a little fledgling like profession in the early 1900s, and then it had a massive uptick in people going to get adjusted. And if I could share a story with you, it was because of the Spanish flu of 1918. Did we talk about this?
No.
So, Spanish flu of 1918, real pandemic, like hospitals overwhelmed, people dying. Medical docs in the hospitals overwhelmed, said, hey, we can only treat so many people. We need help with all of these people that we have deemed like we cannot help them anymore. Who can kind of palliatively, but like take care of them. And chiropractors in Iowa said, hey, yeah, we'll take them. And those patients did better statistically, lower death rates than the rest of the patients in the hospital. And so it's like, wait, immune system, sickness, chiropractic, what is this? And it's the connection between the nervous system, not just your neck bones and your back bones and how your muscles feel. It's the nervous system. It's that white blood cell count will increase 2 to 4x after an adjustment. They looked at white blood cell counts in people with HIV, and they did better with adjustment. Cancer patients doing better, but people have no idea.
Interesting.
And so we see a lot of adults, but also kids, specifically for chronic illness, sicknesses, colds and flus, fevers, ear infections. 93% of the kids who get adjusted by a chiropractor experiencing an ear infection, the parents report a positive change. And 75% of those kids are going to improve completely within 10 days, no antibiotics. And that's like, how does that connect to chiropractic? Like people don't realize that. But
we were kind of talking about this earlier. I think with COVID, people's eyes have been really open to maybe our traditional medical system and maybe how there's some flaws there, right? And that there are other options that are maybe a more natural way that can be even more beneficial than just taking a pill or whatever.
Like it's logic. It's like medicine has its definite place in an emergency, but we know, even though we're not medical doctors, that health is not found in a pill. So how do I get healthy? Medicine is really good at studying disease and understanding what creates that sickness. All these different names, different diseases, diagnoses. The alternative side, chiropractic and that kind of more Eastern, I would say, vitalistic instead of allopathic, is really good at studying, okay, what creates health? Like not what focuses on the sickness, but how do we get this body to be as healthy as possible? And that leads towards one very specific road of maximizing the function of all the systems that God gave you.
Yeah.
Both the blood system, the nervous system, and the digestive system. And you start looking at that, you're like, oh, there's my chiropractor, there's my naturopath,
Yeah.
there's my acupuncturist,
Yeah.
there's my trainer at F45.
Yeah.
Like, it just all starts to blend.
And the power of the mind too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So another one, pregnancy.
Yes, we see a lot of pregnant moms. I guess, yeah, people don't really know that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people who would say, like, oh, it's safe during pregnancy. Not only is it safe, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You think about as a mom's belly grows, like they're growing a baby and their uterus is increasing by like 1,000 times its normal size. Blood volume is changing. You've got the hormone relaxin that literally what it says is
Yes.
it relaxes the ligaments between your bones so that you as the mom can be ready to shift and deliver this baby
Yep.
easily. In all that growth and all that movement, if there's misalignments that happen, not only is mom going to be in pain, potentially sciatica or, belly pain or like indigestion, all sorts of different stuff, but baby isn't going to have as much room to grow. And we see positional changes. So whether it's baby is breech or whether baby is kicking mom hard or not sitting on the left side, head down, we don't say we treat or cure any positional stuff or anything like that, but we find that when we balance out the pelvis and mom's spine, the baby will move and turn all the way up to the minute of birth.
Well, it's funny, Julie in Austin.
Yes.
He was breech, and she went to, because my chiropractor at the time was like, I can help her. So she started going and he turned.
Yeah.
And she was able to deliver it.
And I bet you if you had that chiropractor sitting here, he would say, like, I didn't turn her.
Right.
I adjusted the spine,
Right.
which created motion, which the body in its wisdom then had the opportunity to turn, which
Yeah.
I think I sit on that because it's important, because I think humbleness and recognizing where the credit should go, like I move the bone, God does the healing.
Yeah.
Like it's simple as that
Yeah.
versus like, hey, I did this thing. Like, no, the body is the doctor here.
I love that.
But statistically, pregnant moms getting adjusted throughout their pregnancy, shorter labor times, less risk of interventions, less reported pain levels, we see that all the time.
And then bring your newborn in.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
they've kind of been through something traumatic too,
Yes.
right?
And so we see a lot of babies. I think the youngest baby we've seen in the office is 3 days old.
Yeah.
All 4 of my kids were adjusted at birth. And for anybody who hasn't seen a baby adjustment, it's not like there's no pops,
Yeah.
there's nothing like that. It's like the pressure you would put on your eye putting a contact in.
Yeah.
It's because there's no bone, it's all cartilage
Yeah.
in those babies.
Yeah.
But if you think about the birth process, even a natural,
Yeah.
everything going smooth, there's still so much pressure on the buildup to open that cervix. And there was a guy, medical doctor, Dr. Tobin in Germany, in the 90s found that like over 80% of babies born in his hospital had upper neck misalignments. And only 10% of those babies, it was so bad that they needed clinical treatment, which brings up a point of like, oh, great that they were looking at that and that they found the ones that showed symptoms and treatment. But what about the rest of them that didn't show signs there? But then you follow those kids for 10 years. What does that look like? Oh, torticollis, where their heads turn. Oh, they're not latching to one side. The nerves going to their brainstem irritated, so colicky. Like there's all sorts of stuff that wouldn't necessarily be traced back to birth trauma.
Yeah.
But this is why it's so important to get babies checked
Yeah.
from day one, even if there's no symptoms,
Right.
because you're setting them up on that straight and narrow,
For sure.
setting up for success.
Yeah. Any others that you would say that would surprise people?
Let's see, we talked about immune system, we talked about, well, did I ever tell you? No, I think the immune system is the biggest one. There's a crazy story back in the 80s of Soviet Union of Masha and Dasha, the conjoined twins. Did you ever hear about that one?
No.
So conjoined twins at birth, like at the hip.
Yeah.
They had all different systems, different nervous system, different digestive system, but the one system that was shared was the circulatory system. So same blood.
Interesting.
And the crazy thing is that one would get sick and the other wouldn't. And it's like, wait, how is this possible? We thought it was just like a blood infection. Like,
Right.
it's because they had different nervous systems. So the
Interesting.
nervous system is the coordinator, is the quarterback for everything else. If that's good and strong, you have a higher likelihood of staving off an infection or a sickness and being healthy. I mean, this is why you can probably put, remember when your kids were little, you put them in Sunday school. It's like, oh, you get the email. There was someone with hand, foot, mouth in Sunday school, and you wait like, oh, is he going to get it? And he didn't. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's an immune system there that's controlled by a properly functioning nerve system.
And your nervous system is what's connected to your spine.
Yes, so you have your brain, which creates, sends messages down your spinal cord and then travels out your spinal bones as spinal nerves and then peripheralizes into every organ, tissue, and cell in your body. And then from there, messages get sent back up the spinal cord and just, millions of times a second. And the interference in that transmission can be abrupt, like if you cut the nerve, like, okay, that's a problem. But we don't see that. We see, oh, if there's a stuck position in the spine, someone's been sitting at a desk for 20 years, or a mom has been breastfeeding for 4 years with these babies, or there's a slip or a fall, it pinches that nerve, and now there's some back pain maybe, or more importantly, those end organs.
Yeah.
Let's say it goes to the stomach, acid reflux, indigestion, low stomach acid, that they're not, absorbing iron enough. But it goes missed oftentimes.
I was told blood pressure.
There's a couple studies that show chiropractic adjustments being better at better at treating blood pressure than some of the leading blood pressure medications. But I want to do a little caveat there, because I have seen people with high blood pressure come down with an adjustment, and I've seen people with low blood pressure it come up and normalize. And here's the thing, is at risk of sounding like a broken record, like your body is the one healing. I don't have the lower the blood pressure adjustment, like that doesn't exist. But most people are stuck in that fight or flight high blood pressure stage, so when we get them adjusted, it will naturally lower. But someone who's low tone, someone who is struggling with, POTS disease or orthostatic hypotension, when they come up from a laying position to a seated, they get kind of dizzy. You start opening up the blood flow in the nervous system, their blood pressure is oftentimes going to increase. And then you add salt and liver on top of that, great. So.
And then, Mallory has scoliosis, and you're treating her, it's helping. Which I think, when we got her diagnosis, we were told physical therapy, which I think you would agree helps.
It's great.
Right? But that's also another.
So scoliosis, when someone has a child with scoliosis, typically what I hear from the parents are like, oh yeah, they told me my kid has scoliosis, and I ask them, okay, what do they tell you to do? They say, well, if it's really bad, they'll say bracing, or if it's even worse, they'll say surgery. But if it's not either of those things, they'll say, hey, let's watch it, let's wait, and if it gets worse, we'll do something about it. That is not good enough, and not at their expense, but it's like, I don't want to watch and wait for my kid. I want to be proactive and do something, at least PT, give me some exercises. So PT is definitely important, but if there are stuck bones that are then, as the child grows, it's not growing with it, that starts to increase the curve, you got to get those bones aligned and moving. That's where chiropractic comes in, with the physical exercises that you can not only see it not get worse, but you can see the angles improve. And that's the magic, is like, I don't claim to get anyone's scoliosis perfectly straight, but we've seen a lot of improvement there, especially with kids.
Yeah, tremendously. What would you say to people that are scared of going to the chiropractor?
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of, I think most people are scared of like what they see on Instagram and TikTok, the big wild adjustments, and it's not all like that. And if there's fear of any risk, like injury and things like that, the most I get from patients is some soreness after an adjustment. Like, you've been adjusted, where it's like, oh, that was big, and it might be sore like a workout, but no injury. People are, at least they're warming up to it now, but in the past, people were already skeptical at chiropractic. I assure you, if people were coming out of a chiropractic office injured, we would be quickly out of business. Like, we're still in business. We have great reviews. Like, if you're looking at reviews and people are getting injured, don't go there. But I think the biggest thing is, like, I'm afraid of getting my neck popped and like all of that. Well, there are dozens and dozens of different chiropractic techniques that don't involve all of that big motion that still see results. Like with babies, we don't pop their necks. With a lot of moms who have injuries from a car accident in their upper neck, we don't do a lot of that stuff. So you can still see results. Just talk to your chiropractor and tell them your fears. But it is very, very, it's almost zero, the amount of risk that you have for an adjustment.
And then one of the things that I love about what you do, and I've been going to different chiropractors my whole life since not my whole life, since I was like 19, is it's a very individual approach. It's not just a one size fits all. We're going to adjust you all the same. You're really taking your time to see, okay, are you in alignment? What's off? What side do I need to focus on? Asking them how we feel, right? And really kind of treating specifically and uniquely, which I really appreciate too.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. You could, a lot of places will get by without that because it's like, oh, my back is tight. Well, let's just pop it. And I was like, oh, I feel better. And that will take you only so far. But if you want to actually heal and change your spine is going to be different than my spine, than your kid's spine. So we should see that. That's why we take x-rays and we have them up, recent ones, when we're adjusting you, so we can check, okay, here's your x-rays. Where are you presenting today? You need this adjustment, whereas someone else, they need the complete opposite.
Right.
So yeah, if I want specific care, like I want specific care for myself, it's like I would do that for everyone else. That's why we do that.
Yeah, I love that. I want to know, Dr. Lucas, who do you look up to? Who do you admire?
For health and chiropractic?
Just in general.
Just in general. This is going to be cliche, but my dad. He has been a chiropractor since a long time. He's still in practice. He adjusts, and he is one that really walks the walk. I was a kid, he didn't drink alcohol. He was wheatgrass juicing before that was a thing, getting pallets delivered to our house, taking me to chiropractic seminars. Him and my mom, they chose to have us at home. Raised us, no medications, no shots. I've never had any of that outside of numbing stuff for dentistry. So I'm super thankful for that. And seeing what that then results in of his health. We just got back from a trip to Mexico and there was a hurricane which brought in big surf, and he was out surfing me.
That's awesome.
And he is over 60 years old. I'm like, dude, this is wild. But you just see the results of okay, grounded in faith, grounded in truth and health, and walking the walk, not just for a 30-day or a year challenge to get in shape, but no, this is how I live my life for my life, the people in my life. I see that. And it seems like every time I'm around him and then I look around at other people, his peers who aren't doing that, I can see the difference.
Yeah.
It used to be slight, and now it's oh, there's a gap here.
Older,
yeah, in sharpness, in movement, in everything. So I look up to him because I want to be like him when I get to his age. Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. What would you say are some of the guiding principles that you live your life by? What are your non-negotiables? This is, I'm not compromising. This is important.
Yeah, that's a big question. I don't know if I have them fully written out. If I'm just thinking of my life in general, the first thing that comes to mind is we look for truth in the Bible, and through our faith is a big piece of that, and that's where our passion for health, I think, comes from. But that's where it starts. Is hey, Courtney and I, if there's a disagreement, we're going into prayer. If there's an injury or if there's a tough patient that is not we're praying about it. We pray as a team. So that's number one. But then more on the health side of things is okay, we are principally knowing the body is designed to heal. The body heals from the inside out. It doesn't need no help. It just needs no interference. And when you can't have all the interference removed, from a toxic lifestyle, then you can support it. But the foundation is the body is the healer. So trusting that, and even when it's scary, my daughter broke her arm last year, complete compound fracture. And I was okay, I can't adjust this. This is where medicine shines. But with the healing process, it was hey, just let her be. Give her the liver, give her all this good food and adjustments regularly, and she's better than ever. But founding principle in health is the body is the healer, not me. And I think that's valuable as a doctor with patients. I talked a little bit about humbleness, and not to brag on my humbleness, but I think it's specific to where I don't want to take credit for anybody healing in my office because it's not my credit to take. And then it's also like not a blame thing. Like if someone's not getting better, it's like, hey, it's not up to me to begin with. Like we keep going, we keep stacking the deck in your favor, but it's your body's responsibility. But just trusting that process, and not that people aren't healing, it's just you trust it for long enough, eventually you see something. And sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes a year, sometimes it takes 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then personally, I know you, I've known you for a little while. I know you really value sauna.
Yes, I was in it this
Working
morning.
out.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Oh man, so sauna, working out, I mean, I love the sauna, and I know you do too. It just feels great.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm looser after that. But one of the things I really like about it, two things, is that it is increasing your sweat, which is the main way your body prefers to detox. They looked at levels of toxins in your blood, your sweat, and your urine, and it was highest in your sweat, which means your body, if it's not sweating, it's now overloading your kidneys and your digestive system, which turns into skin issues and energy issues and all sorts of that stuff. So sweating, great for your body. Second piece is sickness. Like you think of the colds and the flus that people get and the upper respiratory stuff. A lot of those bacterial infections and viruses start in the nasopharynx. And so heat increases the efficiency of the immune system and kills off a lot of viruses and bacteria. So that's why your body goes through a fever. When you're in the sauna, especially if you're breathing through your nose, you are increasing the temperature of the airway there, which is killing off a lot of that viral and bacterial load, which gives your immune system a better fighting chance. It has a weaker enemy. So this is why chicken soup is great for you when you're sick. It's not the chicken. It's not the celery in there. It's the steam.
Interesting.
So sauna, I feel like I'm getting sick. I didn't get sick much at all because the way we live, but I even still feel like I'm getting sick less in the sauna and working out. And working out, it's honestly, I could work out more, but it's most important, I think, for my mental health. Like starting the day, doing something hard with guys that, you know, are pretty much brothers. It's like, oh, this is great. I feel, you know, a tired body is a calm mind. I just feel steady and I'm in it.
I love that. And then I'm going to add for you, like your quiet time, your devotion, your mindfulness, and that meditation, right? Time with the Lord is also really important.
100%. That happens early in the morning. I'm in bed by 8:30 or 9. So late nights are not my thing. I kind of like start my day, like I'm crushing my day, and then like I get home after dinner, kids are in bed, and it's like, oh, I'm done. So it's got to happen in the morning. And I love getting up early because nobody's competing for my time, and it's simple. I've got a guys group that we just go through books of the Bible or Christian, you know, guys' books together, or we'll go through Proverbs, and it's pretty much a Bible and a journal. Love it. And writing prayers and doing all that and reflecting with Courtney. She's doing a Bible through a year right now.
Love that.
Very, very important. I'm always learning things that I've read this passage before, but I never read it like this. So I love that.
When you can hear someone else's perspective on it, you're like, wow, I didn't think of it that way. That's really cool. So that totally kind of goes back to your 5 essentials, right? Chiropractic care, exercise, nutrition, mindset, and then you said detoxing, which is like that sauna.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you really are living out, practicing what you preach.
I could be better. There's always the biggest room in the house is the room for improvement. But that is the goal. That's the standard, is to be hitting all those. And if I feel like I'm like not making progress in an area, then I don't look for something new. I'm going to double down and be brutally honest with myself and say, okay, what area of these is lacking? Am I eating junk? Am I filling my mind with junk? Is there junk not coming out of my body because I'm not detoxing? When was the last time I was adjusted? Like, did I work out as much as I should have? So I find that if I just go back to that well, honestly, and do what I know I should be doing, it works.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything else that I should have asked you that I didn't?
No, you asked a lot. That was great. I love it. Thanks,
Awesome.
Janine.
Well, I appreciate you. I think anybody that is out there that's struggling, that's listening, and maybe they are struggling mentally, right? They're just stuck. Maybe they don't feel good, right? They should come in and see you. They can meet with you, kind of get an assessment, right? Get a baseline, and then see if it's a good fit.
I think a lot of people yeah, if ever there's any hesitation in coming into an office, just know like in our offices and the ones I would recommend, there shouldn't be any hesitation because we're with you, not like we're sitting next to you of like, hey, yeah, what's the problem? Let's fix this together. So even if there's, hesitation, like a phone call is easy, an email, like no problem, we'll get back to you. And if we can help you, great. If we can't, we'll find you someone who can.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janine.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.